Good morning, world. Most people enter a relationship with the intention for it to grow and develop into something bigger. You start out dating, maybe eventually you get married, and then you have children and have a family of your own. But as you are making those plans for the future, there are certain things that are important to know in order to ensure that your plan will be able to go as you plan. So that's why today we're talking about 5 things you should know about a person you plan or would like to have children with. One is, do you both want children? And is that especially if it is what do you call it? A deal breaker for you. Do you both want children? That means, do you want children and does your partner want children? Because a lot of times people will go in that relationship making the assumption that the person wants children, but not ever really knowing, not having ever asked and gotten the answer of a yes or a no. Or sometimes I've mentioned how bad it is when people do that. The person will say no, they don't want children, and someone will go in expecting or planning or hoping that they will eventually change their minds, which usually does not happen. 2, how many children do you want? Because that's another one that can sometimes become a problem. Maybe you want 1 or 2 children and your partner would like to have a whole football field. Maybe you just want the 1 and your partner wants 3. All those things, it's important to know, and not just know as in you guessed or you're assuming, but know as in you have discussed it with your partner and you guys come to an agreement. Maybe they wanted a football team and you only wanted 2 and you agree on 3. Whatever that consensus is going to be, you guys need to have the discussion and make a decision based on whatever it is that you compromise or decide on. 3, when do you see children fitting into your life? Because maybe you're ready and you want to start a family now, but your partner is looking to have or start a family in 10 years. It's important to know those things and come to decisions about them. If you're set on your having children next year and your partner is definitely set on their 10 years from now because of whatever their reason is, it's important to know this because if you don't come to an agreement at the beginning or in the moment, what's going to happen is that you go into a union and then you spend 10 years arguing over, I want kids now, I want kids in 10 years. So make sure you know that. What are your views on child rearing and your expectations of your partner in that process? Maybe you come from a family where mom handled the children and dad did whatever dad did. Or maybe you come from a family or your expectation is that we're both 100% parents and we're both 100% involved. Make sure that you know this and you know what you are expecting. That way, and you and your partner can come to an agreement. Maybe if your partner did not see what you saw as their responsibility, what roles you assign to each other, what expectations you have of each other, so that you can kind of discuss and decide, hey, this works for me, this does not work for me. Let's see. 5, are you ready to have children, or are you on a path to be ready to have children at the time that you both decided that this is when you want children in your lives? If you are with someone who plans on being an eternal child or an eternal teenager, is this going to work for you in 10 years when you're ready to have your children? Is this going to work for you in 5 years when you're ready to start your family? Make sure that your timeline for when you want to start a family fit with what you guys are working on or the path that you are on right now. Quick recap. 1, do you both want children? Make sure both of you want children. 2, how many children do you want? And if the numbers were different, make sure you find a way to come to a middle ground, something that you could both be happy with. 3, when do you see children fitting into your life? Again, this is one of those things where if you are far apart, you can start working towards a middle ground where you can both be happy. What are your views on child rearing or your expectations of your partner's role, of you and your partner's roles in that process of parenting? And finally, are you ready to have children, or at least on a path to be ready to have children when you want, or when you plan on having children. Of course, sometimes things happen, but at least are you on a path? And yep, that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.